Good morning to everybody in Rotary, and a very special good morning to our new District Governor Angelica Salomão. Welcome to this interview, District Governor. Thank you for accepting the invitation. The purpose of the conversation this morning is to help Rotarians across the district of 9400 to get to know you better, not just as our District Governor, but also as a person. Many Rotarians may not have had the opportunity to meet or engage with you directly before your appointments as our District Governor, and many of them may not get the opportunity to actually spend time with you personally this year. So what I would really love this morning, even though I know you're going to travel to most of the Rotary clubs in our district this year, is to have a real heart-to-heart with you that will help our Rotarians connect with you on a more personal level. Thank you for accepting the invitation, DG, this morning, and welcome.
Good morning and welcome to that interview.
Awesome. I'm going to start with the first question, DG. Can you tell our Rotary community, where did you grow up and what experiences or values from your early life shaped the woman and the leader that you are today?
Thank you. I am a Mozambican citizen. I was born in one of the southern provinces of the country, and now I live in Maputo. I was in Mbane, and now I live in Maputo. My mother was a midwife, and my father was a nurse. I recall from these days seeing them do whatever they could for their communities. There were not so many health facilities, there were not so many health professionals, and often I remember that my father was coming late home because he had gone with his motorbike assist people in the areas of nowhere, and he was coming. And my mother sometimes saying, "Oh, it's late, aren't you afraid?" And then he was saying, "No, it's my job, so I have to do." So with that example, I thought often that I wanted to do the same as they were doing. That's why I decided to go to the health sector as a professional. I graduated as a medical doctor. And through also the issues of church, youth church, communities, I was doing some, but I thought, there's something else I need to do. So the health professional, being a medical doctor, assisted me in this. But it was not enough. Why? Because I worked for the Ministry of Health, later went to UN through WHO, and realizing what I have achieved from the humble beginnings of my parents and what I was getting at the time, I said, I need to get back and give more back to my communities. So when someone told about Rotary, I read a lot about Rotary. There was the issue of the polio. And then I said, I want to be in that community. As a medical doctor, I have a job to do there, a task to do there, but besides this, something else, which is the motivation, which is bringing people to come to the vaccines whenever they were available. And it was something I was doing with pleasure and committed. So I joined Rotary in the early 2000s, and that's where I have been. I think that being a leader has nothing to do with what you decide. It has to do with what you see, what you are exposed to. So when one of my Rotarian fellows told me some 6-7 years ago that I should go to be in the Rotary leadership, I said, no, I'm doing what I'm doing with pleasure, so I don't need to go there. But they insisted, and the club where I am affiliated today, I have done quite a few jobs there. I've been president twice. I've been in the Rotary Foundation, which I enjoyed a lot, the community service secretary, to learn quite a few things. But then I was squeezed and forced to go to the leadership of the district. And the clubs, my club assist me. They talk with all the remaining clubs, and here I am. I hope with your support, I will do a good job. When I say all support, I mean communities and all the Rotarians.
It's amazing, DG Angelica, because, you know, you are such a busy woman being a medical doctor. And to be able to step in a line of leadership at this level with Rotary is not a small feat, but you know what they say, if you want something done, ask someone who's busy. So I take off my hat to you for what you have done. It's amazing. Thank you for giving up almost all of your what will be your free time this year to serve as the district governor for a humanitarian organization. It's a beautiful reflection of your heart. The next question that I want to ask you, DG, is can you tell us a little bit about your family life? Are you married? Do you have children, grandchildren? And how do they feel about you serving as district governor for the next year? And how are they supporting you?
I'm no longer married. You will understand why. I divorced. I lived with someone until he died some years ago. And then I decided that I will continue married to the professional. I would continue married to to Rotary and to whatever has to be done, because I'm also an activist for women, girls who are not seen very often as citizens of the world. And in countries like ours, in our district, which spans from Botswana, Eswatini, the south of Mozambique, and the northeast part of South Africa, most girls, most women are not seen as true human beings. And to add to this, what is also done to the children, especially the girl child. So that's where my role as activist also adds to my activities. And even in the country, I have been for Rotary the ambassador for girls empowerment, which is exciting, interesting, because you get to know quite a lot and also to understand better what the world is. I have one grown-up daughter. I had two step children who are no longer children, but for a mother, they are always children. One is now 47, the other one is 45, and my girl 43. The two elders which I took care of when I get to live with my second husband, who passed away some years ago. He was shot, and then that's when I took that decision. And these ones, the mother abandoned them, and I was the one to take care of them since they were 3 and 1 years old. So they are my kids. They know much better me than they know the mother, to the point that when they got married, the mother came as invited, and that was one of them said, "I know you are my biological mother, but she's my mom. So you have nothing to say to this." So that's what I usually do. Now I'm doing much less health activities because there's a lot to be done, but I still do something not to lose my hand, not to lose the skills I have, but much, much less. If you don't want to do everything at once, you fail. So I have decided what I should be doing to dedicate most of my time to Rotary, because it's really a job. My daughter is also a Rotarian. My youngest daughter is also a Rotarian. The others two, they are friends of Rotary. They don't want to be Rotarians, but one now lives in Germany. The other one, the girl lives in Germany, the boy lives in Maputo. When I need stuff to be done for Rotary or even for the medical side, I will ask them, and they are always willing to assist. So, and that's it.
That's amazing, DG. Let me tell you, and it probably makes more sense now. I saw you with your special aide at my office the other day, Elton, who Rotary has assigned to you for the year, who will assist you and support you in your journey. Now, as a single woman who is sitting at district leadership across 4 countries, I mean, it's just amazing to me that you've been given that support. Although you're not doing this as a couple, as a married couple, you have a special aide who is a gentleman who can help you. I know you're based in Mozambique, between countries and in your travels and in your arrangements. I want to commend Rotary for doing that, actually, because it's not easy. as a single woman in business to take on these big leadership positions without a male support and a hedge of protection around you. And so I just want to commend the district for giving you a special aide who is a gentleman. Elton and his beautiful wife Azira are amazing, but to help you with a smooth landing in your leadership and making it easier for you to fulfill this role, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the duty of a special aide for a district governor?
Let me put it this way. I'm someone, I enjoy delegating because even the role of a DG, you are called the DG, but actually you are the one voicing the work of a team. So if you don't do that, I think that as a medical professional, as a lawyer, as whatever, working in a team, you fail. So the DG, what to have the special aid for the DG, Alton Werrett, what I have agreed with him, some aspects of the work as he's sitting in South Africa will be able to perform while I'm doing the rest. We talk almost every day, almost every day. For example, the visits to the clubs, they will be fixed. They have been fixed, but interacting with the clubs to know quite a few things, it's easier to do it from South Africa. Last week, which was my first week, there has been 7 inductions. And this, Alton worked with the district secretary to fix them and fix them. When I came, the job was almost done. Then you have to go there and talk to the clubs, visit the clubs. But the good thing or the important thing is your relationship, how you interact with your special aid. He's not your employee. He's not someone you pay to. He's a Rotarian doing this on a voluntary basis. And still this week, I went to meet his wife to thank her for allowing the husband to give me that time to assist me in the year ahead. So I would not say that there is specific list, but there are quite a few things to do. For example, you are inducting. You cannot go and start the induction with the pin, with quite a few things. So you will kindly request your special aid to do that. And when the time of pinning someone comes, then he will come with all that stuff. And in some place they are very tall, and then you have to go there, and he will assist me to reach this place. So it's actually now we are brother and the sister. Let me put this way: we're a brother and the sister, and the Zira, who is the wife, my sister also. So it's very interesting.
No, it's beautiful, DG. And you know why I appreciate it? Because I'm a widow. And simple things like attending events at night and having to drive alone to an event or drive yourself home after, we take this for granted. And I mean, the frequency that you have to do it as the DG is enormous. You will be traveling actually for most of this year. And just to have somebody like Elton to pick you up from the airport, take you to your hotel, accompany you in the evening to events is a huge relief for you as a woman in leadership who's unmarried. So I thought that was quite interesting, and I thought we'd just chat about it because it's a word of encouragement for other women in Rotary who would like to maybe consider leadership positions, but not realizing that they do actually get additional support at a Rotary level. So I think that's quite a special and important thing about your role this year. Now
I think there's something I would like. I try to save Alton from too much work when he never picks me from the airport or the terminal. He will be assisting me in terms of traveling when we are going to the place. If something I can take a Uber, I can use any other means of transport, I will do that. He's always willing to do, but I think that I have to save him from something because he has a family. He also has wife and kids.
Of course,
so for me, it's very important. And as a woman, I'm a widow with grown-up children, but he still has adolescents. So I need to make time also to understand that I need to make time for him to be with his family.
Yes, of course. No. That I understand completely. But it's nice to know the support is there. And that's the point that I make
Yes,
today for Rotarians
thank
is you may have the option to do things on your own when you're comfortable with it, but when you're not, you have a hedge of protection and support, especially traveling, because traveling comes with its own risks attached to it. So it's nice to know that you have Alton and his wife in the car with you when you're traveling. I know you traveled this week to another province, that they go with you. They know the roads, they know the way. It's
you.
nice. It's a
Exactly.
nice comfort. Okay, then DG, tell me, when you are not busy with your vocation and you're not busy with Rotary, what does your day look like? What do you do when you're not busy with Rotary or you're not working in your practice or at the hospital?
Let me put this way. I wake up around 5. I enjoy gardening. I grow vegetables. Part of the vegetables I use myself, but I take to an orphanage and to the pediatric ward according to the amounts of products I have. I have a beautiful garden. I think that it's a beautiful garden. I also grow some fruits. I have mangoes, uh, no, not banana, what you call this, papa. I have pineapples. I have oranges, mandarins, and according to the season, I will be able to pick something and get to my special place. My special place is especially the orphanage. I also support now and then. Uh, not it's not called a, um, a place where a group of nuns take care of abandoned people, old people with the chronic disease, and you know that the budget is never enough, even if they get some support. So to assist them to do some work, there is a nurse there, work with the nurse and see what has to be done in that place. So this is part of my days. And of course, either in Rotary or in my medical profession, I have to read a lot. I have to read a lot, and this is something I do. And when I say reading a lot, I mean the professional documents, updating documents. And in Rotary, you have to find out always what is new, what is not new. And then you have to learn also. I take a lot of training in the e-learning platform. Even if I've done some of the trainings, I'll go back because I have one doubt and I need to make sure that what I keep in mind is correct. What I'm also doing is that at some point here, I started some years ago a sort of supporting some widows. Maybe the fact of being a widow prompted me to this, whose husbands have perished, most of them in the South African mines or going to work abroad. So to teach them how they need to survive, because it's not a way of living that you beg every day. I told them, no, you don't beg. So now and then I will get to them at my place to learn how to grow vegetables, and they will do something. Now we are in a process of trying to get them to learn how to sew. Why? In this area, there are about 8,000 school children. They could be the ones making the uniforms, and this could be a way for them to get a permanent income. So that's what I do. And what else? Mainly.
It's amazing, amazing. So you have green fingers. You are empowering the widows in your community, which I think is really commendable. And I think what you touched on, which is very interesting for me, is a lot of time reading. And we find today people don't want to read, DG. Which is why even with this interview, we do a video interview. People are much more likely to watch the interview than what they will to read an article. So, but you give us a clue about the leadership in Rotary, because I think that is important. So if you're not reading in Rotary, if you're not reading the newsletters, if you're not going through the learning center, if you're not reading, you're probably not growing. And that's not just for Rotary. I think it's across the board. Like you say, whether you're a lawyer or a doctor or any kind of professional, you need to stay abreast of what is happening in your community. So that's very telling. It's a nice clue for success you leave with us. I have a next question, which is there a Rotary moment or project that has had a lasting impact on you, DG Angelica? Something that's happened that really touched your heart and that has shaped your journey?
They have been involved in quite a few projects. But one, because of the characteristics maybe of my country, was very, very important. The wheelchair project. There is polio on the one hand. It's very difficult now to show at the medical school, at the nursing school, and even to Rotarians or children in nowadays what polio is. We have some people who have the sequela of polio, whom we can. Sometimes I ask some of them if they will be willing to come to a session, to a lecture, to be shown. Some of them they don't feel like, they don't accept, but there is a group of some who accept. And beforehand, what I need to do is to ask the class to ask gentle questions, not to offend people, not to hurt them, because they were not willing to get polio, but they got polio, and they are in the shape they are today. Another aspect is polio. On the one hand, this visible sequela of polio, the people who cannot move properly, but also there has been what you call this, a civil war in Mozambique, and we got quite a few children who lost the parents. So quite a few children who were very young, but they cannot also walk. They crawl like some of the people with polio. So assisting with a wheelchair, some of these adults, for them to get a way of living, to get an income, was something very special. And some of these people with polio, they take care of some of the kids from the war. So this combination of wheelchair, providing the wheelchairs to them, and them also giving back through taking care of some of the children who needed foster families. Some of them have 2 or 3 kids. Then they said, I can take 1, I can take 2. Of course, we need to assist. And this project for me is something which is very special. Now my club and the clubs in Mozambique are fighting to get more wheelchairs, because we still need, due to that situation of the war, quite a people who need wheelchairs. Why? And why we also have kids needing wheelchair? Because they were the landmines. And the landmines did badly in this country, adults, youths, and children. So we need to assist them. So that's why, for me, this project of the wheelchairs is a combination, is a multi-phase approach of problems you have in the society.
Thank you, DG. And I think what you're demonstrating is something that's very close to my heart, is to see the need and meet it where you are at. You don't have to travel far. As a humanitarian, there are needs in everybody's immediate community, and to get involved in the community that you've been planted in and make a difference in that community, I think is very special. My final question for today, DG, is what kind of leader do you hope to be this year? And how would you like the Rotarians to remember you after this year and after they've interacted with you? And you're welcome to say that first in English and then possibly to say it also in Portuguese, because I think it would be wonderful for people to hear you speak in your mother tongue.
Let me put this way. One of the things I enjoy the most as Mozambican, although we have some sad aspects in our life, I enjoy going out, meeting people, and having fun. Because for us, having fun, it's a way to prepare ourselves for tomorrow. It's a way to get strong. That's why even when you go to celebration and after to a funeral, then we'll have some moments with jokes and things to remember that person. I think that it's very, very important. Coming directly to your question, what I would say is what I have just said. You may be the DG, But what we are going to show that it's not the DG activity on her or his own place. You will be showing the work of the committees. You'll be showing or voicing what is happening in the club. So it's very, very, very important to make place for the others to show. I don't think that you have always to speak because you are the DG. There are moments in which someone can voice what the district is. Of course, there are the codes of policies, there are the rules, we need to abide by them. But I think that it's very important to make room for everyone to say, she's showing this work, but we are the ones working with. She's working with. I think that it's very important. At some point, of course, as DG, I'll have to take some decisions. But I think that my decisions need to be supported by my team. The big issues, the problematic, the hot issues, they need to be prepared with your team so that when you talk, you are not talking your voice, your opinion. I mean, you are not making your view. You are making the view of the team of the running the district that year. So I see an equal DG as work of the team running the district that year. And especially because I don't live in Botswana. I don't live in Eswatini, even I know better Eswatini. I don't live in South Africa. And even in my country, I don't live in every province. So you need to understand what's going on so that you, when you want or you have the opportunity of doing something for that community, then you know that what you are doing is really what they need, not what you think. So this is what I see as important when you are in these positions. And and it's so short. It's 1 year. And that's why we need to have what is called the strategic plans. You are not going to invent the wheel. There's something that has been put in place from 2023 to 2028. My view is that what you need to do when the year 1 year ends is to see where we have progressed more, where we are lacking behind. And then you will organize the plan of that year, take into account these characteristics. Having said that, what I'm trying to say is that maybe 1 year you focus more. This we have to focus always on membership. But we have the issue of young people. What to do with young people? They are the future. They're our successors. Are they coming in big numbers to the Rotary activities? What do we need to do with them? So you need to openly discuss this with your team, take into account, backed by the strategic plan, which was not just coming from the air. It was based on a survey that was made for the district, and also joining to this what Rotary prompts us to incorporate in our Rotary plans. But also you need to take into account the features of where you live. We have the issue of diversity. You cannot live without doing anything towards diversity. So it's very, very important. Gender, age group, races, geographical distribution, as it was said. So all these issues need to be taken into account. But it's when you do this, don't ever lose the funny side of things. And it's very, very important because you keep the atmosphere, the environment nice, warm. And here we have sun always, even when it's cold, even if it's cold and you have sun, but sun is there, and you need to enjoy to be always pleasant. And this means that try to make everything very positive. Very, very positive. So, o que eu gostava de dizer em relação ao meu ano de DG, quer dizer, governadora do distrito, é o seguinte: um governador de distrito é uma pessoa que apresenta os resultados do distrito nesse período. Mas o DG não é uma peça única, tem uma equipa, team, aquilo que em inglês se diz team. E então é preciso ter em consideração os diversos aspectos do team, discutir para que de cada vez que se fala ou que vou falar como distrito, tenha em conta os aspectos das diversas áreas do Rotary. Nos clubes chamam-se avenues, nos avenues temos que ver como é que as avenidas estão a andar. Ao nível do distrito são as comissões, os comitês, para vermos como andar. Mas há um aspecto que é importante, é que temos que ter sempre um lado positivo de tudo. E um dos aspectos positivos é a boa disposição, fazer tudo com uma certa alegria, não com cara pesada. Nós viemos para o Rotary para ter companheirismo, fellowship, e mais, temos uma diversidade de quê? De cores, de profissões, de idades, e temos o género. Portanto, é importante trazer todos esses aspectos que constituem o distrito para uma plataforma única com as suas diferenças. E, nesse aspecto da diversidade, os jovens, que são os nossos sucessores, têm que ser cada vez mais chamados por nós, cada vez mais preparados, porque eles são o futuro, são a linha de sucessão. Mas é importante poder contar com o apoio de todos, ao nível do distrito, ao nível dos clubes, e ter sempre presente que vai ser muito importante mantermos os clubes atualizados. Quando eu digo atualizados, só queria dizer informados. Training, learning. É importante que cada rotário saiba que tem que aprender a ser rotário. E ser rotário, um dos aspectos é o fellowship, que já dissemos, o companheirismo. É ler para saber quais são as obrigações do Rotary. E uma coisa que eu não disse há pouco, é que um dos aspectos de ser rotário é pagar a sua contribuição anual, porque é essa contribuição que permite ao Rotary fazer o bem que se faz. O lema deste ano é Unidos para fazer o bem. United for good. So let's try to make whatever we can to make the good. And let's bring everyone to understand that even if the club contributes, you as a Rotarian, you need to give something. 50 cents, 1 rand, 10 rand, give what you can afford. But please, give something. Vamos dar aquilo que podemos dar. 50 centavos, 1 metical, 10 meticais, mas vamos dar. Porque é esse dinheiro que é preciso para se transformar naquilo que em inglês se diz grants, naquilo que são as contribuições que nos permitem fazer bem à comunidade. O nosso lema este ano é Unidos para fazer o bem. Vamos continuar unidos para fazer o bem, tendo em conta que primeiro servimos os outros, depois é que olhamos para nós. Always thinking that unite for good, but service above self.
Thank you, DG. I mean, you've said some very profound things, and I'm going to wrap up this morning. I made a few notes in my last question in terms of how you want to remember it. And what I want to say, the first words that you said that have jumped out for me is make room. I find it admirable that you, as the DG from the beginning, are making your leadership style signature about showcasing the work of your team during the year of your leadership and showcasing the work of the clubs and using this platform that you've been given to actually showcase the teamwork that's happening at the district. The second thing that you said, which I think is wonderful, is your readiness or preparedness to take difficult decisions. And I think that is a responsibility and a duty of leadership that cannot be sidestepped, regardless of your organization that you work in, but to be ready to take those difficult decisions. You already have my respect for that. You mentioned a continued focus on diversity in our districts and especially on the youth. That is definitely high on the agenda with Rotary. And then what you also mentioned, and I think this is quite interesting, you said that you understand that your year is part of a 5-year plan, and that it's your contribution that needs to fit in with the 5-year plan and the contribution of all the other leaders in that 5-year plan, or all the other efforts of the 5-year plan. And I think to have an understanding that your contribution is one of the cogs in the wheel, but there is a bigger wheel, I think that shows your absolute humility, but also your understanding of the context of Rotary and of leadership, that 5-year plan. And then finally, what you said is to have fun and to keep it warm. And I think we really need the continuation of that. We have Rotarians that are often reminding us to have fun. Yes, it is humanitarian. Yes, we do want to serve. Yes, it is a collection of professionals, but let's not forget to have fun. So I think those are amazing takeaways at the end of this interview. Thank you, DG. I know your diary is busy. I want to thank you and our district secretary, Alice, who's done a phenomenal job to create a pocket and a window of opportunity for me to chat with you this morning as our district chairperson for public image. Thank you for your time. We love you. We will support you 100%. And this won't be the last interview that we do with you in your year in leadership. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There's maybe one final aspect I would like to point out. During the training, the learning session with the clubs this year, one thing that has been requested, and I think that we are for this, we'll be preparing for this with the team, is that every 3 months we will have a Zoom meeting, whatever it's called, it's going to be called, with the clubs. Because there are good practice. There are questions which the presidents or the Rotarians want to ask. And I used to say that the WhatsApp does not speak. The email does not speak. So we need to be face-to-face at some point to talk, even if it's not going to be that face-to-face, but at least in a Zoom meeting, rather than only sending the emails and the WhatsApps. We'll try to do the most to interact among ourselves, and then to show that we are the Rotary family. So why not?
That's excellent. That's excellent. Like we're doing this morning, face to face. I'm in South Africa. You are in Mozambique. So thank you, DG. I wish you a wonderful rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing you again in South Africa. Love to Mozambique.
Obrigado. Bom dia. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you.